Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube True Story. In today's video, I'm going to show you the horrifying events that occurred to create the game we now know as Five Nights at Freddy's. Anyways, let's begin. In the quiet suburban town of Aurora Heights, a cheerful family establishment called Chuck E. Cheese's stood at the corner of Main Street. It was a place of laughter, birthday parties, and pizza, an innocent slice of childhood joy. Yet, hidden beneath the playful facade was a darker, more sinister reality that would eventually inspire the chilling creation of the infamous horror game, Five Nights at Freddy's. One summer evening, as the sun set behind the row of shops, the manager of Chuck E. Cheese's, Richard, noticed something unusual. The animatronic characters, designed to entertain children, had been acting strangely. They seemed to move on their own, even when the power was off. Dismissing it as a mechanical glitch, Richard instructed his team to check the systems and ensure everything was in order. However, the anomalies persisted, growing more unsettling with each passing day. Late one night after the establishment had closed, Richard decided to investigate. Armed with a flashlight and a sense of unease, he ventured into the darkened arcade. The lifeless eyes of Chuck E. Cheese, Helen Henny, and the other animatronics seemed to follow his every move. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the room, and the air grew thick with an inexplicable sense of dread. As Richard approached the main stage, his flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. He heard a faint, childlike giggle echoing through the empty space. Panic set in as he realized he was not alone. The animatronics began to stir, their movements jerky and unnatural. Richard's heart pounded as he stumbled back, the flashlight slipping from his grasp and clattering to the floor. In the dim light, he saw Chuck E. Cheese's face contort into a sinister grin. The animatronic lunged toward him with a speed that defied its mechanical nature. Richard screamed, but his voice was swallowed by the darkness. The last thing he saw was the cold, unblinking eyes of the animatronic, inches from his own. The next morning, the employees found the restaurant in disarray. Richard was missing, and the animatronics were eerily positioned around the room, as if they had been frozen mid-action. The police were called, but no trace of Richard was ever found. The incident was quietly swept under the rug, attributed to a tragic accident. However, whispers of the haunting began to spread. Employees reported strange occurrences, objects moving on their own, unsettling noises in the dead of night, and the animatronics seeming to come to life when no one was watching. The legend of the haunted Chuck E. Cheese's grew, capturing the imagination of a young game developer named Scott. Years later, Scott would channel the eerie tales and his own childhood fears into creating Five Nights at Freddy's, a game that would terrify millions. The game's premise, a night guard trying to survive against haunted animatronics, was eerily reminiscent of the dark events that had transpired at Chuck E. Cheese's. As the game gained popularity, the truth behind its inspiration remained shrouded in mystery. But those who knew the real story could never forget the night when innocent childhood joy gave way to unspeakable horror, and the animatronics of Chuck E. Cheese's revealed their true malevolent nature.